They rose out of the rainforests of Central America and the mountains of South America. Some of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world, built by the Maya, the Aztecs, and the Incas.
Millions of people settled here in ancient times and created a culture that was so artistic and so sophisticated in so many ways.
Their huge pyramids still stand after centuries. Archaeologists have unearthed ruins of once great cities where emperors and kings ruled from grand palaces, where merchants traded cloth and jade and salt in crowded marketplaces, where priests in ornate temples made offerings to the gods of the sun, the moon, and the rain, and especially to the god of corn. Corn, called maize, was the foundation of the food supply for these ancient civilizations. Corn was ground into flour to make flatbread, cooked into soups and stews, dried and stored. Farming enough corn and beans and squash was essential for survival. For the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Maya, that meant a life or death challenge, finding enough land to plant crops in some difficult and harsh environments. Their solutions, some ingenious, others more dangerous, are still used by farmers around the world today. The Aztecs had settled in a wide valley full of lakes. The soil was rich, but there wasn't enough land around the lakes to grow large crops. The Aztec solution? Farmers built long barges and covered them with soil. They planted their crops and extended the barges onto lake surfaces, floating fields. Far to the south, the Incas had formed communities on the rocky sides of what are now called the Andes. To grow their crops, they needed to be able to catch soil and rainwater before they ran off the steep slopes. The Inca solution: carved terraces or steps into the mountainside. Older than either of these great empires, the Mayan civilization faced different challenges in the rainforests of what is now the Yucatan Peninsula.
Well, the Maya are a remarkable civilization. They were in an environment that we think of as very challenging here in this rainforest.
Rainforests are green with growth, but on the forest floor, the soil is thin and poor. Trees and jungle growth was so dense, farmers had no room to plant crops. The Maya solution: slash and burn, cutting down trees and brush, then setting fire to the area. Burning cleared the land and left a covering of ash that added nutrients to the soil. It worked for centuries. The Mayans thrived, developed a written language, an advanced understanding of mathematics and astronomy, and an accurate calendar. Then, in one of the great mysteries of ancient times, the Mayan civilization collapsed. Tens of thousands of people left the magnificent cities. By 900 CE, the cities were empty. Archaeologists and climate scientists are still piecing together what might have happened. There was a long and severe drought, and many now believe that the very agricultural practices that fed the rise of the Mayan civilization might have contributed to its fall. Cutting down so many trees may have led to soil erosion and crop failure, giving the Maya a grim choice: leave or starve. By the time the Spanish conquerors arrived, some 500 years later, the Aztec and Inca empires were at their height. What was left of the Maya were scattered in farming villages, growing corn on small plots. The ruins of their ancestors' cities stood silent in the jungles, overgrown with moss and vines.